I'm saying World Cup. Madness. I love him that much.
I think you could go with the 3. I think there needs to be very good rotation within that.
We haven't got Ivan. I think we're probably better suited with a 2.
Welcome to the pre-match Pint with London Pride. We're here at the Fuller's Brewery shop in Chiswick Lane. Bees fans, get yourself down here for 10%. And it's another warm-up special. We've got the old gang together 2 weeks in a row. Brentford women's gaffer Karleigh Osborne and the ambassador Marcus Gale. Good to have you both back.
Nice to be back.
Got a toast to start, as always. This one's to Neil Greig, also known as Greggy.
Yes,
Greggy. At the
Greggy.
club, who is running the New York Marathon this weekend. He's raising a lot of money for Cardiac Risk in the Young and also to Bodie Hodges, who is a charity that look after bereaved families. So amazing work, Greggy. And if you do want to donate, check out Brentford's Twitter page, and we'll also put a link to Greggy's Just Giving page below. So superb work. He's also unbelievable at marathons. He's an absolute machine when it comes to running. Right, let's talk about Brentford Football Club, shall we? Because that's what we're here to do. Wolves.
Wolves, okay.
What do we say?
What can we say? Great
Weird
question.
game of football, isn't it? Why is it
first
always
half
a
was-
weird game against football against Wolves at our
I don't know,
stadium?
there's always some sort of drama with Wolves. Last year we had the drone.
Which broke up the game.
Yeah, it messed up our momentum.
Yeah.
So that was one thing we didn't want this season against them. But again, they didn't need a drone to break up the momentum.
Wonder if they planned
There
the
was
drone now last
other
year.
tactics that was being used. But yeah, the first half weren't really a great watch, to be honest. It looked more like a bit of a championship match in terms of quality from both sides. Second half livened up a little bit, and we thought we, rightfully went ahead in the game, only to not hang on to it too long. So it kind of just pitted out to be a score draw that I think more Wolves would have been happy with than anything.
Yeah.
And we was looking for the win.
I'm going to talk about that goal specifically because I want to talk about Ben Mee in general. It's kind of said a cliche, the most dangerous time in a game is just after you score. Why is that?
I think sometimes you can get kind of wrapped up in the celebration. Sometimes the relief of getting the first goal and things like that as well when the game's not as smooth or is a little bit bitty or broken down. And I think we probably ended up staying in that a little bit too long and switched off a bit, allowing Wolves to get an opportunity, which it was a really good goal. But at the same time, one of the first things usually that you're taught or that's told when you score, make sure you bank in and you get your mind right and you're ready to kind of defend, because there's going to be some sort of reaction usually or some sort of onslaught coming our way, and we just switched off a bit, which was disappointing.
To be fair, a hell of a finish from Neves, and we'll get onto our hell of a finish from Ben Mee in a sec. But Thomas said we needed more coolness and quality in the attacking third. Is that linked though, Marcus, to the bittiness of the match?
Yeah, it's a reflection of the match, and Thomas is right. We just needed that extra bit of quality, but you need that every single match you play at this level or any level. We just didn't have it on the day. Wolves seemed to get their sort of encouragement from how they was playing as well, and the game was sort of even, but in a negative way. Not too much frills or spills, but that's where we need to step up. And the players, they know for themselves how good they probably should have played, but there's no easy game at this level, and you have to really desire that out of each and every one out on the pitch.
Like you said, it wasn't a bad performance, was it? It was just a weird game of football. I think there was a stat I saw Jay Harris said that it was like 44 minutes or something to get the ball was in play, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there is positives. Well, this goal, I mean, I don't even know where we start with Ben Mee. It's no secret. He's fast become my favourite Brentford player for a hell of a long time. Did either of you know he had this in his locker? Because the way he even shapes up for the volley is absolutely unbelievable. As a centre-half, you've never done that, surely. I know you're going to say, Port Vale away, I scored a great goal.
Hey, as a centre-forward, I've never done that.
Technically, how good is that goal?
No, technically it's brilliant. It's unbelievable, to be fair. Like the way he's shaped up, the technique, understanding the flight of the ball, getting himself in the right position to do it is brilliant. I think you're right in terms of he's been a real good signing for us. His experience.
What do you like about him as a defender?
As a defender, I like he's got a bit of old school in him. Loves to tackle, wants to win the ball. He's aggressive, but not only that, he's got some quality. He wants to play. He wants to try and find a pass. You know what I mean? He marshals the defence well. He's got real good leadership qualities, and he just comes across as a really good person. Every time I hear him speak, or if he's in an interview or whatever it might be, he just comes across like a real good man. So those are the types of characters you want in the changing room, and I'm sure he'll be speaking and holding conversations with players, making sure that they're focused and doing what needs to be done at the training ground and off the training pitch and ultimately in the games.
Who was more surprised at that finish, you or Chris Adger?
I think we was both the same. For me, it was like in slow motion because as the ball was gone in, I've just had a quick look to see who's in the box, and I see Ben Mees in there, and I can see him turn his shoulders. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's it. It's the movement. It's like a proper
like,
centre forwards movement.
Yeah,
technically.
so that's what caught my eye in the box, and then again, it was like, he's really lifting that leg to really go for it, and then it's gone in. That's probably the most I've cheered for a home goal. Well, I'm quite sort of conservative when it comes to celebrations. I'm quite professional in my role, but that one, I went for it.
There's a big cheer from above you as well, because he had about 20 odd friends and family at the game. You could hear them, see them at the end of the game. He's giving them a wave. They're all going mad, and yeah, it was a hell of a moment.
Great finish.
I think with Ben as well. When he first joined, I don't know why I was surprised. I didn't realise that look, I'm 3'4", so I'm not going to say he's short, but he is slightly slighter and smaller than I expected. Yeah. But he doesn't lose a lot in the air, does he, Karleigh?
No, he doesn't. I mean, ultimately, winning things in the air is about timing, and his timing is unbelievable. His reading the flight of the ball is brilliant, and he knows how to use his body against big strikers and things like that. He doesn't often get bullied and stuff like that because he understands the game. He's had to kind of deal with Costa and obviously Costa being Costa.
We're not going to get into what happened at the end.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously he's done well and that comes from frustration. That does. With Costa's reaction. That's because Ben Mee has frustrated him and kept him quiet ultimately.
Yeah, he didn't give him any room at all.
Yeah, and he didn't come in as the most exciting signing, but I think when you look on reflection, he has been, because he's been fantastic in all that he's done so far.
I think he's definitely been the most essential signing that's come in. Something that, we've had obviously disruption in that back line, and Ben's come in and just plugged it. He's filled it. He's now leading the goal scoring from that defensive position as well. So for me, he's so essential to what we do.
And he came on pre-match Pint. What an absolute hero.
Exactly,
he's even come down here. Look, we're not hitting the halfway stage of the season, but because of the nature of the World Cup, it almost feels a little bit like it. Where does he rank for you then, Karleigh, as in player of the season so far?
I think he's got to be up there, 100%. I think he's amongst leading the race with Ivan, who to be fair has had an unbelievable season so far as well. So I think he's up there in terms of leading that. But there's still a long way to go. But my thing is, as long as he keeps performing like that, it's only going to be good for Brentford.
I'm saying World Cup. Madness. I love him that much.
What,
Get him in
Ben
the
Mee
World
for
Cup
World Cup?
squad. Look, come on.
Who for?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Research
You've got to get your managerial head on.
I've got a little bit excited. It's a non-alcoholic one as well, I'd like to make. But I've got a bit excited. I'd have him in the England squad. Right. Also want to talk about a cameo at the game. KLP. I know he excited you.
Happy feet. So I had some Danish guests on the day, and as he come on, I went, listen, I call him Happy Feet for a reason. You just watch him go. And then within a few minutes, he's nutmegged the defender and gone past. The crowd has been lifted with the energy of that as well. And I'm just so pleased that he can get back out there. Personally, I would love to see him start a few games, but I'm not the manager. But I love what he brings. He brings that sort of courage, that bravery in someone so young, stepping up to this level. And you can see how much the crowd attached to him already.
He kind of, I'm not going to put him in this bracket quite yet, but he's in the ilk of like the Saeed, isn't it? Someone that you know is going to take on their man. And how important is that in a team to have someone that is not afraid to go 1v1 with a fullback?
I think it's vitally important. I think I fully understand what you're saying in terms of the comparison to Saeed. I think
he's not like a showboat.
He does it in a different way.
Yeah.
He's someone that you feel like can create something out of nothing with his own work and stuff like that. So I think he's vitally important to try and unlock doors, especially in games where, for example, against Wolves, it's bitty, they're breaking down play, they're banked in and stuff like that, and it's difficult, and you're just waiting for some sort of moment of magic to create an opportunity or create a goal. So I think he's going to bring that It's good to have him back now. He's still adjusting to the league as well. He's still young, but I think he's got a big future ahead of him. And if we can keep him fit and kind of really push him forward in terms of getting some momentum in terms of game time, I think he'll only produce more.
Well, look, Forest this weekend, big game, of course, before we go into break. City the following week. One blow, Ivan, of course, will be suspended for the game. You're not the manager, as you mentioned just then, but what are you doing? What are we doing? How are you lining up front?
I remember last year we went to Leeds, obviously away, and we didn't have Ivan that day. And I think there was a bit of nervousness around who's going to go up front. And then we got a brilliant performance out of, I think, Brian and Sergi on the day. Added a lot of movement and pace. Obviously, Sergi scored that day as well, I remember. But yeah, there's different options now. You can have Wissa that can play through the middle, but this is for Thomas and Brian to...
No, this is for you, I've asked.
For me? Oh, wow.
For you. Are you going 3, are you going 2? Who are the 3?
No, I know the fans, they feel that they're not too sure about the 3 at the back, but I think some games you need 3 at the back to put the 2 up top. Yeah. So it's a case of where do you really want to capitalise, especially when you haven't got Ivan. I think if we haven't got Ivan, I think we're probably better suited with a 2. Right. So whoever those 2 are, we can speculate.
Kind of still sitting on the fence a little bit.
Yeah, I am.
Karleigh, what are you saying? What about KLP as a shout through the middle?
Yeah, I think it works. I think you could go with the 3. I think there needs to be very good rotation within that. I think you almost need also from your midfield, I think you want a forward runner who's going to break beyond the line. I think ultimately, Ivan's such a focal point. I think it'll be different if we're playing without him. I think you need to create a lot of spaces in different areas and try and benefit from fullbacks getting in behind as well by, the wide player maybe coming inside and coming in deeper to either receive to pull the fullback out, which allows the wide man to go, the fullback to go beyond or whatever it might be. So I think for me, I would go over 3, and then it's just about positioning, rotation.
So you've got Damsgaard that's come on centrally at the weekend.
Yeah.
We know can play out wide, does it so well for Denmark. If you have 3, right, and you're saying maybe there's no traditional out-and-out striker, as a defender, is that annoying and awkward because you don't know who's going to, if they're interchanging?
It is. It's difficult. You get pulled out of places, and that's how you create holes, which is why I think, especially physically, when you look at the potential options, they're not physically like Ivan, who you're going to be able to throw the ball up and he's going to win fouls or bring it down and necessarily bring other people into play like that. So I think the rotation and the movement between the 3 is going to be key in order to kind of create space.
But then does that mean we have to change slightly how we play because we do use Ivan so much as a focal point? So does that also hamper how we play?
I don't know if it hampers how we play. I just think we potentially will be less direct. At times, I think is probably the difference.
We have no other option but to play through and beat
which
that
is
press.
like the Sergi goal at Leeds, where it was a lovely little run from Sergi and he gets in behind and the great finish. All right, that's exciting. What do you guys think at home? Put in the comments section below. Who do you play up front at the weekend against Forest? That is pretty much it. I know we didn't get to spend a lot of time on Forest. We've also got Gillingham, of course, at the Gtech in the League Cup, and the return of Dom Jeffries, of course, who moves on from the B team to Gillingham in the summer. And coming up, Karleigh's in the dugout for the big one at the Gtech Community Stadium. Brentford women against Watford Ladies Development Squad. But tell me about the game this weekend. You've got a home game this weekend that everyone can get down and see the girls at, yeah? Yeah,
we're at home this weekend, so come and have a watch. I think we're against AFC Acorns, which is going to be a challenging game, but it's getting prepared for the big game, so to speak, at the Gtech. So another exciting game of football. So yeah, it'd be good to have fans there again, supporting the ladies and getting atmosphere ready for the big game. So I'm looking forward to it.
There's going to be a massive crowd for that game. If you've not registered your interest, make sure you do so. We've opened up even more parts of the stadium. I think pretty much the whole North Stand's going to be full at this point.
It's over like 3,500 now or something, I think.
So it's great, isn't it, Marcus?
It's a great occasion. And the women's team, they'll rise to that as well. They're looking forward to it, and so they should.
Excellent. Well, thanks both of you for joining me again.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, Bees fans. You Reds.
Take care.
Oh.